Hello and welcome to Fort Bragg Timberwolves football for MendocinoTV.com and for the Skunk Radio. I'm Lindy Peters. We're all set for the very first game of the year. The McKinleyville Panthers are in town to take on the Fort Bragg Timberwolves. In the junior varsity contest, Fort Bragg won by a score of 12-6. An exciting first touchdown just before halftime when Taylor Sullivan, the quarterback, pump faked on a fourth down play and ran it in from 17 yards out to score the first touchdown. McKinleyville would go on to tie it up in the third quarter. It was 6-6 going into the fourth quarter, but then Tyler Baker with a short touchdown run for Fort Bragg, and their defense held on to win it. The JV's game is over. Fort Bragg has beat the McKinleyville Panther JV team by a score of 12-6. Now we get set for varsity football action. First off, let's talk about the Fort Bragg Timberwolves, coming off a tremendous year last year, and two of their skill position players are back. Quarterback Tyler Ashby is back in better shape than ever, and the exciting, thrilling running back Zach Smith is back, and boy, did he have a great year as a junior. He expects to even have a better year as a senior. We'll have a special halftime interview with head coach Roy Perkins talking about the upcoming season, but now let's get set for some Timberwolf action tonight. The Timberwolves and the McKinleyville Panthers. First off, the Fort Bragg Timberwolves will be running their same veer option that they ran last year with head coach Roy Perkins. Again, Tyler Ashby, the quarterback. He can run, he can throw, and he's got some good skill position receivers. Ty Vaughn is back from last year at receiver. He really showed good promise last year, and towards the end of the season, he came out and made some big plays for the Timberwolves, including a touchdown in the playoffs against the Piedmont Highlanders. As I mentioned, Zach Smith, the outstanding running back, also looks good on defense at outside linebacker. Expect him to make a lot of tackles. And Tyler Ashby, the quarterback for the Timberwolves, who has to run that veer option, showed that he could throw the football last year when they took on Willits, and they had to come from behind with an exciting, thrilling victory. He had to throw the football in the fourth quarter. They knew he was going to throw the football, and yet he succeeded and brought his team to victory. Head coach Roy Perkins expects a lot of things out of this team this year, but you never know. This is the first game, so we'll find out tonight. Again, this is MendocinoTV.com. I'm Lindy Peters for the Skunk. We're rebroadcasting this game Saturday morning. Let's talk now about the McKinleyville Panthers, who are down here from up there in the Big Five. Now, the Timberwolves lost just 2 games last year. One was to Arcata, and the other was to St. Bernard's. Both of them on the road up in the northern part of California, up in the same area where McKinleyville comes from. So expect a good game. The Panthers always have a strong football program. Expect the same tonight. They're led by their quarterback, Lane Grace. They'll run that same veer offense, so look for him to either run the football, give it to his running back, who is Thomas Gunderson. He's the top running back for McKinleyville. And on defense, they basically run a 4-4-3. They'll have 4 down linemen. They'll have 4 linebackers, 2 inside, 2 outside, and then 3 in the defensive backfield, 2 cornerbacks, and led by a safety in the defense. Their defense is led by linebacker Troy Hillegeist and also Mark Mateig. So look for the McKinleyville Panthers to run a stout defense, but can they stop Zach Smith? We're going to find out tonight. So get set. Fort Bragg Timberwolves football is next. Again, we're rebroadcasting this game on the Skunk FM. I'm Lindy Peters for MendocinoTV.com and the Skunk. Get ready. Fort Bragg Timberwolves football is coming up. We got a big crowd. The fog has rolled in. It's typical Fort Bragg football weather tonight. We're set for a great game.
All right, we're back here with our rebroadcast of Timberwolves football on Skunk Radio FM and MendocinoTV.com. I'm Lindy Peters. I'll be calling all the action here as you see the captains and co-captains out now at midfield as we get set for the coin toss for today's game. Initially today it was overcast and foggy during most of the JV game, but the sun broke out tail end of that game, and it's turned into a very nice day for high school football. As I mentioned, most venues now are under the lights, but St. Bernard's, a private Catholic school here, nestled in a residential district of Eureka, has a beautiful field. Old-time Timberwolves fans, it kind of reminds me of Green Memorial Field in that there's a baseball field that's also part of this football field. And instead of being on left field, as it was at Green Memorial, it's in right field right now. But there is an athletic baseball field that's situated over across the way. As you get inside about the 40-yard line, going right to left, you'll see that baseball field over there, reminiscent of good old Green Memorial Field. But thank goodness we have Timberwolves Stadium now. Our games are at night under the lights, but it's great to have daytime football here as we get set to go. The captains now, as we get set for the coin toss, are being told after the introductions, any little ground rules. I mentioned that the weather is nice sun-wise. Wind-wise, the way this field is situated, the wind actually is blowing across the field. So no one on either side of the football will be going into the wind as this game moves on. Now we'll keep our eye on it. The goalposts here do have little flags, so you're able to watch the wind as the game progresses. But as we start, a light wind shouldn't affect the game, and if anything, it's blowing across the field. There's the coin toss now as the official, St. Bernard's has won. Christian Mello is their captain that the official is talking to. 9 times out of 10, especially at this level, when you win the toss, you elect to receive the football, unlike Coach Jim Harbaugh and his 49ers. But let's see what St. Bernard's decides to do here as they set the teams up now. You can watch the official indicating they've won the toss and that they will receive. So the Crusaders are going to receive this football. As you're listening on Skunk FM on the rebroadcast, they'll be moving right to left across your radio dial. And as you're watching on your television screens, St. Bernard's clad in their black uniforms with their green trim. Fort Bragg with their white uniforms, gray pants and purple trim. All right, St. Bernard's huddled around their coach, getting fired up. The Timberwolves across the way around Coach Roy Perkins. Both head coaches graduated from Fort Bragg High School. Both head coaches were stars as Timberwolves, and they're battling across the sidelines under the headsets today in Eureka. So the Timberwolves will be kicking off.
They offered.
Deep to receive is Shed Bean. Along there back with him is Jared Guy. Harry on will do the kicking off for the Timberwolves as we get set to go.
Number 3, Shed Bean.
And if you're just tuning in, this is a rebroadcast of Timberwolves football on the Skunk FM. And if you're enjoying the video streaming, MendocinoTV.com. St. Bernard's Crusaders and the Fort Bragg Timberwolves all set to go now. As Harrion raises his hand, ready to kick it off. And here's the boot. It's a low ground ball kick, picked up by one of the up man at the 25. He gets collared and down at about the 33-yard line. That was Oliveras who received the kickoff for the Crusaders and brought down rather quickly. Good special teams play. And the Timberwolves so far this year, Harrion really hasn't boomed a kickoff. It seems like their strategy has been to try and squirt that ball down the field to avoid a long kickoff return. And thus far, the strategy's worked. The teams haven't had very good field position on kickoffs. Granted, this is just the second game. So here we go. The Crusaders have it 1st and 10, 34-yard line. At quarterback, Christian Mello. He's got 2 backs behind him in the I formation. Gives a second man. He's going to the right side. Got some room, cutting back, and getting close to the first down that time. That was Nicholas Ginevro.
Brought down by number 3, Todd Long.
And unbalanced right on that.
And quickly now, the Crusaders are setting up here. 2nd down and 1, the ball down to the about the 43-yard line. So here we go, 2nd down and 1 for the Crusaders. Just getting underway here. First possession, Bean with a man split left, man split right, now comes in motion back across to the left. Lone back behind him now, double tight end set here on the short yardage. They give to the fullback. No, it's a fake. This is Mello keeping the ball around the left. Nice move that time, and he is tackled and dropped after picking up the first down. So a first down carry that time for the Crusaders, and they move the chains in the Timberwolves territory down to the 46-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10, St. Bernard's. And again, this multiple set offense is something you don't often see at the high school level, so the Timberwolves defense is going to be challenged here today. Double tight end, wide right, 2 backs, and whistles stop the play now as St. Bernard's. Actually, timeout for the Timberwolves. So we have a timeout on the field here with the Fort Bragg Timberwolves and the Crusaders just getting underway. 10:59 to go. Again, they play 12-minute quarters here in high school football. Thanks for joining us. Lindy Peters on the rebroadcast here of the Skunk FM and streaming video at MendocinoTV.com. One of the things you have to work on defensively when there's multiple sets of offense, you have assignments defensively, and when there's a standard offensive set, which most high schools run, you kind of know what your assignment is. You've been watching game film, and I'm sure they've checked out game film on St. Bernard's, but they come to the line very quickly, and they bring a different setup each time. So the Timberwolves defense this early in the season is going to be tested here, mainly on whether they can stay in their assignments. Here's a give now on the first play after the timeout, and nowhere to go. Stacked up nicely that time. That was Nicholas Ginevro again. Picked up about a yard. The defense for the Timberwolves with a good job that time. Michael Coles. Jeff Francis again playing now after taking last week off. You'll see him in the linebacker spot there, number 54 in the middle. And he figures to play a big part in this defensive scheme here today. All right, here we go. Man split right, two men in the I formation. They give once again to Ginevro, and he is once again dropped and stacked right at the line of scrimmage. Coming up was Travis Thurber with the initial hit that time. Also, Francis came in there to finish him off. A loss, I think, well, call it no gain on the play, so it's going to be third down and still about 9 yards to go.
At the Fort Bragg 44-yard line.
So the Timberwolves hoping to hold them here. I don't think just across the 45-yard line of the Timberwolves you're really in four-down territory. At the high school level, you never know, but we'll see. So this is a big play defensively. The Timberwolves can hold a bean, has a man split out to the left, or Mello that is, with a man split out to the left. Two men split right. Now he rolls to his left. Rolls, got some time, looks, throws, complete. Oh, it's dropped! He turned to run with the ball. That was Shed Bean who turned to run with the ball before he caught it and thereby dropped it, and it's now fourth down and long, and we're probably going to see a punt here now. It looks as though out in punt formation is Rolo Oliveras, the 6'2", 190-pound senior for the Crusaders. Back to receive is the speedster Zach Smith, just a junior for the Timberwolves, and along with him is Todd Waugh. Both of them are fast and nimble when they get the football in the open field. So the punt will come from about the Timberwolves 44. There's the snap. Oliveras gets his punt away. It's a wobbly punt, but a good one. Smith touches it, drops it, picks it up, still on his feet. His knee doesn't hit as he's hit by three Crusaders and now gang tackled at about the 16-yard line. Let's see where they spot it. The Timberwolves will have it deep in their own territory as they take over for the first time now on offense. They're going to mark it at about the 18-yard line. We're situated here just above the St. Bernard's home field, so most of the cheers you hear when things happen on the field will probably be for the Crusaders, but I tell you what, Fort Bragg always travels well. There's a good crowd across the way, and I'm sure you'll hear them if exciting things happen for the Timberwolves. We're just getting underway on Skunk FM and MendocinoTV.com here in this one. First quarter, 9:40 to go. The Timberwolves for the first time on offense. And immediately the Timberwolves call a timeout, most likely because it might have been a delay of game there. And Coach Perkins, as he goes out, doesn't look very happy. I want Fort Bragg Timberwolves fans that are listening to this rebroadcast on the Skunk, and also those of you enjoying the video, to know that one of the Timberwolves' great football players, Jacob Chimolino, is going to be on live television with his college football team, I believe next Saturday. That game should be broadcast at about 12:30. If you keep listening and maybe talk to your friends, I'm sure word will get out around town. But next week, one of our greatest football players, it's hard to judge people because there are different positions in the game, but you could say the greatest football player to come out of Fort Bragg High School, Jacob Chimolino, now starting in college, and he will be playing on national television coming up here next week. His brother, Mark Chimolino, is one of the assistant coaches for the Timberwolves. All right, after the timeout, we're set to go now. Wall splits out to the left. The tight end, Reed Monson, lines up to the right side this time. Two backs, split behind the quarterback, Tyler Ashby, who's wearing number 21 now, not number 2. He gives to the first man through, and that's Richards, and a nice run that time. Picks up about 6 as he gets across the 25-yard line. Richards also wearing a different number. Those of you watching on video might remember last week he was number 32. Today he's wearing number 22. That's Jacob Richards, running back. There are some number changes here. We should mention Anthony Costello, who comes in oftentimes in long yardage situations at quarterback, will be wearing number 30 as you watch on your video. All right, Brandon Palmer splits way out to the right. Inside him in the slot is Waugh, as Ashby has a little mix-up on the handoff, keeps it himself, and dives forward for a first down across the 30-yard line. So that time the running back got to Ashby before he was able to hand the ball off, and rather than panic and try and give it to him, he just put the ball under his arm and ran himself and picked up a Timberwolves first down. 1st and 10, Timberwolves, ball at their own 30-yard line, just underway, first quarter, 9 minutes to go. And this rebroadcast on the Skunk and streaming video on MendocinoTV.com as an ambulance goes rolling by. There's the give to Richards. He's bucking his way across for about an 8-yard gain on the left tackle and brought down nicely that time by Ben Cordes, who kind of got run over but made a nice play. Or Richards, if he broke that last tackle, had a lot of open field ahead of him. So it'll be 2nd down and about 2 now for the Timberwolves. And as Crusaders have called a timeout on the field. After the timeout, the Timberwolves with 2nd down and short, ball at their own 39-yard line now as Ashby over center. 2 men split out here to the right. Fakes the belly give, gives it to Richards, gets by 1 tackle, moves the ball from one arm to the next nicely that time to avoid contact with the tackler and picks up another Timberwolves first down. So Jacob Richards running like a colt let loose in the corral his first couple of runs there. And picks up a first down. So the Timberwolves have it 1st and 10, their own 45-yard line. 8:22 to go, first quarter. Just away, no score. The Crusaders won the toss. They went down, were unable to get much further than across midfield, punted the ball, and this is the Timberwolves' first possession. They moved it out to the 45-yard line. There's a give again to Richards, and this time he is stopped, and there's a flag going in there that time. That might have been a face mask. A nice low tackle that time by Nicholas Ginevro. And let's see what the call is. It is, in fact, a face mask. I thought I saw a hand get in there. This penalty was called in the junior varsity game a few times. The Crusaders are taught to gang tackle. They're taught to hold that guy up a little bit at the line of scrimmage, at least from my vantage point, watching what I saw in the JV game and seeing what I'm seeing early on here. And sometimes when that last guy comes in to try and wrestle a guy down, all that's left is up high to grab onto, and they've been getting that face mask. Not intentionally, not really grabbing it and twisting it, but enough that it's been a penalty, and that was just a 5-yard penalty that time, not a personal foul. So it gets it across midfield. It's going to set up 2nd down and about 4. The Timberwolves have it at the 48-yard line of St. Bernard's. Ashby now with a man split out left, the backs in the I formation behind him, double tight end. They give again to Richard. This time he is stopped at the line of scrimmage as he rolls and can't get away. Nice play that time by the interior lineman for the Crusaders, Mana Tanavasa was the first man to hit him, and talking to Coach Jason White before the game, he told me watch for Mana Tanavasa on defense because he's a good one, and he's got good size. He's 6'1", 280 pounds. So no gain on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 2. The ball again at about the 47, 48-yard line of St. Bernard's. 7:29 to go, first quarter, no score. Rebroadcasting this game on the Skunk FM and on MendocinoTV.com. Streaming video, I'm Lindy Peters. As we get set, Ashby sends Palmer in the motion, gives it to him on an end around, and they had some yardage, but the flag went. I think Palmer may have left too early. It might be a procedure call. Let's see. That's it, a procedure call against the Timberwolves that time. Boy, that play had set up nicely. Had the play not been nullified by a penalty, it looked like there was going to be some good yardage that time. May have taken it down into the red zone, but instead it's a 5-yard penalty. It'll still be 2nd down, but it's back across midfield now, back at the Timberwolves' 48-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 7. No score from Eureka, St. Bernard's High School here. Labor Day weekend, Paul Bunyan Days back at home. Hope folks are having a good time. All right, Ashby with a man split left and a man split right in the backs of the I formation. Gives to Richard again, trying to get outside, is tackled just across midfield. The initial hit was Jared Guy. And some of these tackles, I think those of you watching this on video, the tackler is getting the worst of it right now from Richard. But he is being corralled thus far. He hasn't been able to break a long gainer. But he certainly has been getting some yardage here on this first series. All right, now it sets up 3rd down and about 5. The ball just across midfield on the St. Bernard side. Splitting out here to the right, that's Brandon Palmer. Inside of him is Wall. Man split wide out left, couldn't quite see who that was. Back to pass is Ashby, and he is tackled down at the 40-yard line. line. A sack that time. And once again, the big guy, Manu Tanavasa, was in there to make the stop. And now it's going to be 3rd and long, or 4th down and long, I'm sorry. Ball back at the Timberwolves 41-yard line, and they're probably going to have to be forced to punt here. So each team has had the football. Each team has moved the ball and gotten the chains moved a few times, but the Timberwolves actually had probably a better offensive series, but each defensive team has held here in this first quarter. 5:45 to go. The Timberwolves will punt. 2 men back for the Crusaders. As Harrion gets the punt off, it's a high punt, takes a Fort Bragg bounce, continues to bounce inside the 20. Nice punt all the way down to let's see what they mark it, about the 17-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Crusaders, their second series, this time a little deeper in their own territory. No score, first quarter, 5:27 to go here. Remember, the Crusaders like to go right off the bat, so the Timberwolves defense better be ready. They're already at the line. There is no huddle for this team as they come out on this second offensive series. Quarterback Christian Mello barks the signals off to the left. Formation strong right, lone back, pitch to him. As he goes around the right, he is collared immediately by Reed Monson with good outside containment on the left side, tackling him at about the 15-yard line for about a 2-yard loss, although they may mark it up at about the 16, so call it a 1-yard loss. It'll be 2nd down and 11. A nice defensive containment by the left defensive end for the Timberwolves, Reed Monson. The Timberwolves run a 4-4, which sets up usually pretty good outside containment. They got tested last week on that spread offense from McKinleyville, and right now, here comes a spread offense from the Crusaders. 2-man split way out here left, and instead they give to the first back, and he is dropped again after little or no gain. And the ball carrier that time was Logan Bongio. Bongio that time really didn't have much blocking up front, had nowhere to go, and he was stopped right at the line of scrimmage. So it's 3rd and 9. Now 3 men are split out here to the left, as once again the play is sent in from Jason White. Like I said, the team doesn't huddle up. They yell out the plays. They all have wristbands. You might be able to watch it on video. They're looking at their plays on their wristbands now as they get set to go here. 3rd down and 9, the ball at their own 18 for the Crusaders. The Timberwolves need a stop. Back to pass. Mello's got a man wide open. He makes the catch here on the sideline. Eludes one tackler. Eludes another. He's across midfield and out of bounds at the Timberwolves 40. Well, right at midfield, he went out of bounds. Oscar Pimentel got the catch that time, and nice run after the catch by Pimentel as he sort of zigzagged his way up the left sideline and finally was knocked out of bounds by Ashby right at midfield. So it's 1st and 10, a nice 3rd down conversion for the Crusaders that time. They have it right at midfield. 4 minutes to go now in this first quarter. Mello with 2 tight ends now. Gives to his back. He's got some room across the left side and stopped after picking up about 3. That was Nicholas Ginevro, once again on the carry for the Crusaders. Travis Thurber, along with the linebackers, helped stuff that play. So it'll be 2nd down and about 7 yards to go. The ball at the Timberwolves 48-yard line. The first down marker down at the Timberwolves 40. First quarter, 3:27 to go, no score. Crusaders and Timberwolves here from Eureka on the Skunk FM and MendocinoTV.com. All right, Mello, fake, play action, throw, got a man. Oh, through his hands, incomplete. Wall had the coverage that time. The intended receiver was Alex Lopez. And don't want to maybe project the fact that he heard footsteps from up here, but that might have been the case. Wall was closing in, but he wasn't going to be there in time to break up the play, but certainly to make the tackle, and maybe that time Lopez saw him coming. So it'll be 3rd down and long again for the Crusaders. The ball at the 48-yard line of the Timberwolves. Clock stopped after that incompletion. 3:17 to go. First quarter, no score. Once again, the Crusaders get the play from the sideline. They run the spread formation on this play with 1 lone back, and what do we have? Timeout, Crusaders. One of the reasons you try and run an offense without a huddle and run the plays in from the sidelines via the coach is to prevent delay of game penalties, but at that particular junction, it seemed as though Crusaders were taking a little too much time for Coach Jason White. I don't think really he saw anything defensively that he wanted to change, but maybe he did. So it'll be 3rd and long when we come back. We'll take a short break here during this timeout. 3, 2. After the timeout, 3:17 to go, first quarter, no score. St. Bernard's has it 3rd down and 8. The ball at the Timberwolves 48-yard line. Again,
Trips right.
this multiple set offense, different look on this play than they had initially before the timeout. 3 men are split to the right. Mello looking that way, rolling to his right. Rolling. Now he throws. Got a man wide open. He leaps. Incomplete. Up the right sideline that time was Pimentel. And boy, I tell you what, Mello, the quarterback for the Crusaders, put that one where it was catchable, and he's had a couple of passes dropped here so far, but he certainly has been pretty much on target here in the first quarter, and the Timberwolves are going to have to shore up their pass defense because one of these plays, they're going to break one if this keeps up. 3:08 to go now. Again, the clock stopping with an incomplete pass. One of the things about a passing offense is that the games will take a little longer, even at this level. All right, the Crusaders will punt. There's the snap. There's the punt. It's a low punt. It's touched by Smith. It goes over his head. He picks it up at his own 2-yard line. Trying to get outside and is out of bounds at about the 9-yard line as he tried to sweep to the right that time. That's a second straight kickoff that has bounced. He's tried to field. He's touched. He's mishandled it initially, and he's been great at going back and getting the football before it goes to the Crusaders. So it's a good thing the Timberwolves held on to the football that time. It's marked right at the 10-yard line, so the Timberwolves have it for their second time deep in their own territory. Starting this time at their own 10-yard line. 2:56 to go here in the first quarter. No score. Crusaders and Timberwolves here. Rebroadcast on the Skunk FM. I'm Lindy Peters on this Sunday. And if you're watching the video streaming, you're on MendocinoTV.com. You can watch us here all season, all games. All right, the Timberwolves come up 1st and 10. And somebody moved before the ball was snapped. Richards that time, the split back that looked like they were running the old crossbuck that time, and he moved a little early, so that'll bring it back 5 yards down to the 5-yard line, and this could be a field possession situation for the Timberwolves here. They really need to pick up a first down or two, or St. Bernard's is going to get the ball in good field position if they can't move the chains. The guy to block is Mana Tanuvasa, number 52 for the Crusaders, as he lines up defensively just off the Timberwolves' right side of the line. There's Richards, got the ball, fighting again for tough yardage out to about the 9-yard line, about a 4-yard gain. So remember, it was 1st and 15 after that penalty, so it's going to be 2nd down and 12 now as the Timberwolves have to get the ball out across the 20-yard line to get a first down. 2:36 to go, first quarter, no score from Eureka, St. Bernard's High School here, nestled in the residential district. Off to the east, you can see the redwood-covered hills, backdrop Eureka, and it's just a gorgeous day here. 2nd down. Ashby gives this time to White. He's got it, and he gets up for about another 4 or 5-yard gain, but the Timberwolves are going to have 3rd and long now, deep in their own territory. Down to about 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. If you just joined us, the Crusaders received the kickoff. They were thwarted and stopped. The Timberwolves took the ball down across midfield, had a big sack for a loss and had to punt it. The Crusaders got it. The Timberwolves stopped them, and this is the Fort Bragg second series, and they got a 3rd and 7. The ball back at their own 13-yard line. Ashby sends Juan motion and gives to him, and he is tackled for a loss back behind the line of scrimmage that time. So once again, Manu Tanuvasa blew right through that and broke up the play as Wall that time went in motion, took the pitch or the handoff as he went by quarterback Ashby, but as soon as he got the ball, there was big number 52, Mana Tanuvasa. So the Timberwolves have to punt from their own end zone. The ball being snapped from the 9-yard line as Harrion will punt it out deep to receive at their own 43 with possible good return here, getting good field position. With it is Shed Bean. Bean gets a block, goes around the left side, breaks a tackle, and then is hit and knocked out of bounds by Waugh. But not before he gets great field position for the Crusaders to take over 1st and 10 at the Timberwolves, about their 33-yard line. Down under a minute to go, first quarter, 48 seconds to go. No score so far. And the Timberwolves now will turn it back over to their defense and hope that they can hold here. Watching the place-kicking efforts in the warm-ups for St. Bernard's, seemed to have a pretty good leg, pretty good kicker. I didn't catch his number at the time watching the warm-ups, but field goal certainly might be a possibility for them in this game. The wind doesn't seem to be a factor either way. All right, 1st and 10. Back is Mello. Got a lot of time. Puts a high pass into the air. Nobody down there. And he probably was told by his coach, if nobody's open, throw it away. And if you're going to throw it away, you might as well throw it to Aunt Betty in her house sitting across the street, because that's about what he did. Penalty flag on the play, and I believe that they're going to have to call it. Well, I don't know if they would call intentional grounding. He may have put the flag back in his pocket, but no, they're talking to the Timberwolves, and there might be an intentional grounding because there was nobody within 10 yards of that football, even on their own sideline. Even one of their own fans wasn't 10 yards from that one, and that's the call. Intentional grounding. Now, I'm not sure. I don't know if the quarterback got mixed up in that or the wide receiver, but those of you that saw that on video know what I'm talking about. The quarterback dropped back to pass. He had a lot of time. He threw an alley-oop pass, a lob pass. Mello did, but there was no one even near it. And into the end zone the pass fell. The nearest player, either team, probably 15 yards away. So there's the intentional grounding call. And it'll be first down and 15. There's no loss of down on that, or, well, I thought there was. Let's see. Yes, the official's telling the chain gang it's 2nd down, because on intentional grounding there's also a loss of down along with a penalty, and there you have it. So it's going to be 2nd down and 15. The ball back out to the 39-yard line of the Timberwolves. St. Bernard's has it. 41 seconds to go here in this first quarter, and with a lot of passing and most of them incomplete, it's taking a long time to play this quarter. All right, so here we go. Mello over center. Quick pitch this time to Ginebra. He's got it around the right side. Cuts back. A flag goes flying in as a tackle is made down at the 30-yard line.
Flag on the play.
Metland was in there, I believe, and, well, let's check this flag first. The penalty with 33 seconds to go in this first quarter has stopped action, and officials amongst themselves right now talking, and now the head referee will signal the flag. He's picking it up. There is no flag. He's picking up the flag.
No flag.
So no penalty, and that play, as I called it, will stand. It's to the 30-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and about 7 now. In this first quarter, no score. Rebroadcasting on the Skunk FM. I'm Lindy Peters on MendocinoTV.com. Hope you're enjoying our streaming of this game. What a day for football. Just picture perfect here as we enter the month of September. One man split out left, double tight end formation. Mello's looking his way, throws his way, he makes the catch. Stiff arms, ball's loose, picks up his own fumble that time. Shed Bean made the catch that time and actually broke a tackle, but as he tried to break us away, Brandon Palmer made the stop and knocked the football out of his hand, I believe short of the 1st down. And that's the end of the first quarter. So 12 minutes are in the book. The score after the end of the first quarter, it is Fort Bragg nothing and St. Bernard's nothing. I'm Lindy Peters for the Skunk FM. We'll be back with more action here. Stick around. We're back here at St. Bernard's High School in Eureka, California, home of the St. Bernard's Crusaders. The Timberwolves on the road in this rebroadcast on the Skunk FM. 4th down and short for the Crusaders, who are now moving left to right across your radio dial and left to right across your TV screens. And they're going to try a quarterback sneak, and the surge is there for 1st down, and he breaks free. Going all the way into the end zone is Mello. Touchdown, Crusaders. 4th and short. The ball at the 24-yard line. Everybody stacked up and bunched up on the defensive line, and Mello ran into the end zone after he got through the initial contact, and a penalty flag here. Hold everything. The flag came in so far behind the play. I can't see how, but they are talking to Fort Bragg. Unless there was an excessive celebration that I didn't see, I don't know what the call would be, but we're going to find out here. So penalty stops the action. The Crusaders have apparently scored here, but let's wait and see what the penalty flag brings about. They picked up the last flag. A lot of discussion. If there was a hold right at the end of that play, it almost happened behind it, but Mello did break for the end zone at about the 10-yard line, and there was a player with him there, and let's see what it is. No, it is a touchdown, and it is unsportsmanlike conduct. So the St. Bernard's Crusaders, even though it's a Catholic school, got a little exuberant and excited when they scored that touchdown. Too much so for the officials. So the extra point, and this could be a big deal here. The extra point's going to be a little bit more difficult for either the kicker or the conversion. 11:51 to go, 6-0. St. Bernard's has taken the score on a 24-yard nice run from Christian Mello. It was just a quarterback sneak right up the middle, but he sort of rolled off and slid off his right tackle, got into the open field and scampered in for a touchdown. Nice run. So they're sorting this out. It should be 15 yards if it's unsportsmanlike conduct. So it should be out at the 17-yard line for this extra point, and that's where they're going to take it. So they set it down there. And I mentioned watching the kid warm up kicking at Shed Bean. He was making them from this distance without too much difficulty. Let's see how he does. The ball spotted at the 25 with a 10-yard deep in the end zone. This will be a 35-yard extra point. Only 25 yards from the spot on the field, and it's up and short. No good. So the score with 11:51 to go in the second quarter. St. Bernard's drawing first blood. The Crusaders 6. The Timberwolves nothing. We're back now with more action. 11:51 to go, second quarter. Crusaders leading 6-0 as they set up to kick off now. Zach Smith and Todd Waugh deep to receive for the Timberwolves. And a different man, Pimental, handles the kickoff duties for the Crusaders. And it's an onside kick, and he just squibs it out of bounds. And that's not a good thing to do if you're a Crusader. In the old days, you just went 5 yards back and kicked it over, but watch what happens here. The Timberwolves are going to have it 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line. Similar to a punt. If you punt the ball out of bounds, wherever it goes out of bounds, that's where you get it. A kickoff, if you kick it off out of bounds, you don't go 5 yards back and kick it again like the old days. Wherever it goes out of bounds, that's where the other team will receive it. This is, again, high school football. Rules a little bit different in the NFL. All right, Richard is the up back. Smith back behind him in the I formation as the Timberwolves come out on offense. The give is to Smith. Smith actually went inside. Had he cut outside, Richards actually had a pretty good block that time, but he went inside instead of outside and didn't get much of anything. Maybe a yard. It's going to be 2nd down and 9. The ball at just across the Timberwolves 40-yard line. We're in the second quarter, 11:33 to go. Fort Bragg trailing now 6-0. St. Bernard scored a touchdown and then had a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty called against them for excessive celebrating after that touchdown, and thus their extra point kick failed. So there's where we are, 6-0. Ashby gives to Richard, and he is stopped at the line of scrimmage. Boy, any yardage he gets on these plays early in this game are very tough. He has not had much of a hole to go through, and once again at the bottom of that pile is Mana Tonavasa, whose name you could call almost every play defensively for St. Bernard's. So now it's going to be 3rd and 9 at the 41. The Timberwolves need to get to midfield and just across to get a 1st down. Palmer splits out here left. Waugh slotted inside of him. Monson tight end on the right side. Backs are split behind Ashby. He's back to pass. He looks. He throws. It's caught and tackled. Waugh is jackknifed down across midfield, but a nice catch by Todd Waugh. First down, Timberwolves in Crusaders territory. Down to about the 47-yard line. Ashby that time had time to throw, and it was a nice route that time. You may have noticed, those of you watching on video, the wide receiver, Palmer, kept going upfield, and cutting underneath him that time was Waugh. And he got himself open, made the catch, and a Timberwolf first down in the Crusaders territory at the 48. 10-17 to go, second quarter. Ashby now with a man split out right, slotted inside him. Backs are in the I formation. It's a keeper. And Ashby just runs right up the middle that time, gets spun around, still on his feet, and only picked up a couple yards. Well, actually, his initial forward progression got him across the 45 down to the 44, so actually about a 3-yard pickup. It's going to be second down and 7. One of the things you can do to take advantage of a guy like Mano Tanavasa, who's big and pretty mobile, for his size, 280 pounds, is to freeze him, which is what they tried to do on that play, is to have something pop so fast that he wouldn't be able to react with him not right over center. All right, here's back to action, and this is given to the second man through. That's Smith, and he gets up close to the 40-yard line. Nice gain that time by the Timberwolves. But it's going to be short. It's going to be third down and about 3 at the Crusader 40-yard line. 6-0 St. Bernard's leads. We're in the second quarter here. 9 minutes and 11 to go before halftime. Third down and 4. Ball at the 41-yard line. The Timberwolves have to get to about the 36-yard line to get a first down, or 37-yard line of the Crusaders. So here we go. The Timberwolves break the huddle. Palmer splits out to the right.
They're still in double twos.
Vaughn splits out left. And once again, a keeper for Ashby. And he got it that time as he slid by the defensive containment off his left guard and picked up a nice gain for a first down across the 35 down to the 34-yard line of St. Bernard's. That's just a quick snap quarterback sneak. And if your line gets off the ball quickly on the snap, pretty much you're by that first initial series of linemen, the 4 downmen for the Crusaders. And if you've got a quick and nimble quarterback like the Timberwolves do and Tyler Ashby, sometimes that play can really break. It was good enough for a first down there. First and 10 Timberwolves. Snap is fumbled that time, and Ashby on the snap recovers the fumble. That's kind of a
Loss of 1 yard.
A tough way to start a first down at the other team's 35-yard line, but nonetheless, it's a yard loss due to a miscue. The Timberwolves fumbling the snap, so it'll be second down and 11. Under 8 minutes to go now in the half. Fort Bragg trailing 6-0. St. Bernard's with the lead. This is a good drive for the Timberwolves, though. Their best drive so far of the game. When we get down to about the 36-yard line.
Double 3 techniques.
Man splits out right, slotted inside of him. Man splits out left. There's a quick pass to the right. It's caught and hit immediately and dropped at the line of scrimmage, or perhaps with a loss that time, is Brandon Palmer. Almost a lateral, that pass that time. Would have been interesting if he didn't catch it, whether that would have been a fumble or not, but it was caught. But no gain. But nonetheless, the Timberwolves will have a third and 11 at about the initial line of scrimmage that play started from, the 36-yard line. They have to get down to the 25 of the Crusaders for a first down. So this is the second long situation for the Timberwolves, third and long here in this drive. They converted on a pass last time. See what they do here. 6:46 to go in the first half. In the shotgun is Ashby. And the Timberwolves, if they can get this play off, get the snap, and Ashby spins around, and I think it's going to be delay a game, and it's stopped anyway, so I imagine the Crusaders will refuse the penalty. Although delay a game, I think that should have stopped the action, and they shouldn't have even let that play happen. They should have blown it dead. Let's see what the call is here. I got to remember I'm not the referee up here. We're getting the signal now. It's telling the players and the coaches to get away from the sideline. They're a little too close to the sideline here.
35.
The officials talking over this penalty, and we're still waiting to see what it's going to be called. If it is a delay of game, my guess is they'll refuse the penalty and set up 4th down, and that's what's happening. It's going to be 4th down. Harrion is out in punt formation. They're going to try and keep the Crusaders back deep in their territory, or maybe Coach Perkins has something in his bag of tricks. Let's see, 6:06 to go in the half, trailing 6-0. Harrion is going to punt it away. Almost blocked, a nice punt. Good spiral as it bounces into the end zone. And about a 36-yard punt for Harrion that time, nearly blocked by the Crusaders as they put on a fierce rush, but Harrion got it away, got it into the end zone. No run back, 1st and 10 for the Crusaders at the 20-yard line. They're leading 6-0, 5:56 to go here in the half. You're listening to a rebroadcast of this game on the Skunk FM. I'm Lindy Peters, and you're listening, or I should say you're viewing and listening to the video streaming on MendocinoTV.com. Each and every game this year will be rebroadcast. Normally, the football games will be rebroadcast on the radio on Saturday mornings. But because this is a Saturday day game, it's being rebroadcast Sunday afternoon following the Giants. But our normal routine, you can hear the games rebroadcast Saturday mornings. So we're set to go. The Crusaders have it deep in their own territory now as they take over 1st down. Mello gives and stacked up Ginevro that time by the defensive line of the Timberwolves. Also, Francis was there. So it's going to be 2nd down and long, maybe about a yard gain that time. 2nd down and 9. Ball just across the 20 to about the 21-yard line. Crusaders again waiting for the play from the sideline now, checking their wristbands to see what it is. Players now getting into the correct formation as Bean splits out there to the left. All right, so here we go. There's 2 backs, an I formation, give and stop that time. Nice tackle by Anthony Jeffries. And the up back that time took the handoff for the Crusaders. Didn't get much. Nice play, and he's limping a little bit. That's Logan Bongio, who was the up back, almost off to the side, not really in a slot. He's still limping back in the backfield as the Crusaders get set now. 3rd down and long. The Timberwolves need to stop here. They trail 6-0, 4:38 to go in the half.
Punch right.
Mello back to pass, rolling to his right. Got some time, still rolling, throws, and a pass is caught. Pimentel makes the catch. Short of the 1st down, though. The ball is going to be short of the 1st down at about the 28-yard line on the right sideline. And once again, Christian Mello right on the money with his pass that time, but it's going to be 4th down and about a yard, and with the ball at the 29-yard line, leading in this game 6-0, the Crusaders will punt it away. So Fort Bragg will get it back with 4:25 to go in the half, trailing 6-0. Deep to receive is Todd Wall. Along with him back there is Zach Smith. Smith has the potential to break a long one if he can get his hands on the football on a punt return. Shift on the line now for the Crusaders. Their long snapper comes in. Brian Boehner. Boehner snap. Pimentel's kick is away from Smith and way out of bounds. It bounces almost into the bleachers over there across the way behind the Timberwolves bench. And so, let's see where it went out of bounds. The Timberwolves should get pretty decent field position, I think. The referee is stepping it off and marking it at just about midfield, I think. And that, in fact, is where they're going to spot it. So good change of possession for the Timberwolves as they held the Crusaders and got it back. They've got good field position. Remember, last time they started deep in their own territory. This time they start from midfield. 1st and 10, 3:54 to go in the half, trailing 6-0. Wall will split out to the left for the Timberwolves. Palmer splits out right. Ashby's been at quarterback the whole game. In fact, now 2 men slotted inside of Wall out here to the left. Ashby drops back into the shotgun. And he fakes a pitch and then runs right. He's got some room to the 45, to the 40, and out of bounds. I believe he got the first down before he was knocked out of bounds. Everything came to the left. The guard started pulling left. I think the play initially was supposed to go left, but Ashby saw the defense was stringing out that play, pivoted, turned, and ran the other way and got a first down. Inside the, they're going to call a measurement, I think. Just inside the 40-yard line. 3:45 to go, first half. Crusaders leading 6-0. It is a first down. They're not going to measure. They move the chains. The Timberwolves come up to the line of scrimmage. Once again with Wall split out to the left. And once again, Ashby's in the shotgun. He pitches this time to Smith. Smith trying to get outside. Stiff arms one man. Is hit. Jukes him. Still on his feet. And out of bounds finally. Close to another first down to about the 32-yard line. So a nice run by Smith, who created that pretty much on his own. He was hit about 4 times before he was finally dragged out of bounds. So nice tough running by both Richards and Smith in this first half. Nothing to show for it on the scoreboard, but they're turning up the yards. First down, or I'm sorry, it's going to be second down and short, the ball at the 31-yard line. Out of bounds that time, so the clock stops. 3:34 to go here. We're in the first half. Crusaders leading 6-0. This is a rebroadcast of the Timberwolves and the Crusaders from Saturday, September 1st. I'm Lindy Peters, also streaming on MendocinoTV.com. Second and short. 3 men out to the right. Ashby over center this time. He keeps it himself, and he's got a first down and more as he breaks a tackle and gets inside the 20. First down Timberwolves, and he gets up a little slow that time. Boy, his leg was wrenched like a wrestler, and he might be hurt that time.
I think it's his ankle.
It looked like he got twisted. His ankle may have rolled on the tackle, and if you're listening on the radio, he went for one of those quarterback sneaks where you're not diving to just get a short yardage. He was running, and he got outside and spun. And just as he hit the ground or was starting to get tackled that time, the player kind of rolled under his leg, and he kind of had a funny way of getting to the ground that time. You could tell he suddenly favored his leg as he went down, and he's holding the side of his helmet right now as the coaches are working on his leg, either his ankle or his knee, and that's not a good thing to see on the field. Your starting quarterback, as he just gets a first down at the 20-yard line, still on his back. He gets up. He's trying to walk it off. The backup quarterback for the Timberwolves is Anthony Costello. If you're injured and they stop the clock, usually they'll require the player to leave the field. And Ashby is going to leave the field. And it is a first down at the 20-yard line. He's limping. Clearly not at full strength as he goes off the far sideline. 3:27 to go in the first half, with the Timberwolves trailing 6-0 as we're back to action now following that injury to the Timberwolves quarterback Tyler Ashby. So into the game from the sidelines comes Anthony Costello, wearing a different number than he had last week. He's number 30 out there if you're watching the video streaming. And the Timberwolves are going to call a timeout. Roy Perkins, I could hear him from here as he called the timeout. 3:08 to go here in this first half. The Timberwolves trailing the Crusaders 6-0. After that timeout, the Timberwolves break their huddle and head to the line of scrimmage. 6-0, they trail. 3:08 to go here in this first half. Waugh splits out to the left. Palmer splits out right as the new quarterback, Costello, over center. Sends Waugh in motion. Gives to Richard. Richards is hit immediately and dropped in the backfield that time by, you guessed it, Manu Tanubasa. There's a penalty flag on the play. Across the field, the linesman has thrown a flag, which sometimes indicates offsides. See what they call here. A motion call against the Timberwolves. So do you take the down or do you take the 5-yard penalty here if you're St. Bernard's? I might have to think about this one. It's either going to be 2nd and 10 there at the 20, or it's going to be 1st and 15 at the 25, and they refuse it, which is what I would surmise would be a good call by head coach Jason White. This area of the field, when you get to the red zone, downs oftentimes more important. Ashby checks back in from the sideline, still limping a bit, but it's going to be 2nd down and 15 at the 25-yard line for the Timberwolves. 3:02 to go here in the first half. Ashby, 3 men split out to the right. Zach Smith, the lone back. The pitch is to Smith. It's an option pass. Smith throws in a crowd, and it's dropped, but a penalty flag. That's got to be pass interference, as Monson was tackled before the ball got there. Let's see. Again, I tend to referee before the referees do from up here. Easy to do. I do it at home when I watch the Niners from the armchair, too. But I believe Monson, who didn't catch that pass, was hit by 2 men before the ball got there. That was the option pass, and Smith actually put it in a pretty good spot. And there's the call, pass interference, and that'll be a 1st down and 10 for the Timberwolves. Automatic 1st down, and it's going to be marked inside the 15-yard line, I believe. And it is inside the 15-yard line, and I'm sorry if I said an automatic 1st down. I guess it's a 10-yard penalty, and it's not an automatic 1st down. It's going to instead be 2nd down and short, 2nd down and 2. The ball at about the 12-yard line, or 13-yard line. So bring it up. As the Timberwolves come up to the line of scrimmage, Richard, Monson, and Wall all split out to the left. Smith back behind quarterback Tyler Ashby. Trying to spread out that defense a little bit and see if they can hit a seam pass here. They got Richard and Monson with size advantage out here to the left. It is a 1st down, 1st and 10 for the Timberwolves. Wall's going to keep it after they spread it out, and I don't know after his ankle got twisted if that's the guy I'd want running the football, but he's tough and he's okay. He picked up about 3. It's going to be 2nd down. The Timberwolves can get a 1st down at about the 13-yard line. 2nd down, it's at the 10-yard line. 2nd down and 8. Down to 2:25 to go in the first quarter. 6-0. St. Bernard's leading, but the Timberwolves knocking on the door. Ashby with Palmer out to the right. Backs in the I formation. That's Richards the up back. Smith the I back behind him. Wall split left. The give is to Smith, and he is hit. Richard, the up back that time, got a nice, he blocked it, gave him some room, and as he went inside, he got hit. Somebody's a little slow getting up for the Timberwolves. And one of the linemen, Espinoza, is a little groggy. They got it inside the 10-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down at the 9-yard line, 3rd down and 6. Now, again, this is 4-down territory. The Timberwolves don't have to get a touchdown either. A 1st and goal at the 2 or 3-yard line would be nice. A touchdown would be nicer, sure, because they trail 6-0. 1:32 to go and counting here in this first half. Palmer splits left, Wall splits right. Richard is the up back. Smith behind him in the I formation. Ashby over quarterback. Takes a snap. Back to pass. He's got a man open but doesn't see him to the right. Now he's covered. Now he's running on his own, and he is going to be short of the 1st down. It's going to be 4th down inside the 10. Just for a second, I didn't quite see who that was. It looked like one of the Timberwolves had broken free in the corner of the end zone. But again, a lot easier to see from up here in the press box than it is for someone down on the field. So it's going to be 4th down. Ball right at the 10-yard line. 4th and 7. Trailing 6-0. Under a minute to go in the half. The Timberwolves trying to tie this game up. Palmer split way out left. Wall inside of him on the slot. Ashby back. Throws the corner out. Wall's there. He's got it. Touchdown, Timberwolves. Nice catch by Wall as he had to turn around and catch it backpedaling. 10-yard touchdown pass from Tyler Ashby on 4th down at the 10-yard line. What a play to tie it up. Now the Timberwolves could take the lead. There's just 31 seconds to go in the half as the Timberwolves have struck pay dirt just before halftime. They're going to go for the kick. Harrion will place kick it. Ashby's the holder. This is a big extra point, obviously. Here's a snap. Spots down. The kick is up, and it is no good. Wide right. So, all that, and it's tied. As Harrion's extra point sails wide right. 31 seconds to go in the half. It's Fort Bragg 6, St. Bernard 6. just 31 seconds to go here in the first half. The Timberwolves just tying this game up on a 10-yard pass from Tyler Ashby to Todd Waugh. Extra point failed. So here we stand, 6-6. Now the Timberwolves, with 31 seconds to go, my guess would just be, again, kicking a squibber or a ground ball to try and alleviate any chance of a long return here. But you never know. The Crusaders are set up for a regular return here with Bean back deep. Harrion to do the kicking, and here's his kickoff. It is, in fact, a ground ball, and it's picked up by one of the up man, Pimental, and he breaks a tackle as he tries to get to the left side, and he is brought down that time by Brandon Nell on special teams, and that takes 7 seconds off the clock. So with 24 seconds to go, the Crusaders will have fairly decent field position given the fact they have shown that they could throw the football. So it'll be first down and 10, their own 45, 6-6 tie. Thanks for joining us here. I'm Lindy Peters, rebroadcasting on the Skunk FM Sunday afternoon following the Giants, and streaming on MendocinoTV.com on your video device, whatever it might be. You can take us anywhere, anytime, in a cage. Here we go, first and 10. Closing seconds of the first half, tie game. Mello is going to keep it on the ground. And running to the left that time is Nicholas Ginevro. Ginevro picks up about 5 yards and 11 seconds to go, and Coach White calls a timeout.
Timeout.
I believe I've been saying Ginevro. I think it's Genevro is the correct pronunciation. My apologies to anyone from St. Bernard's who's been listening or watching the video stream if I've mispronounced one of your skill position players, Genevro, incorrectly. Well, we'll keep it right here for this timeout. Pretty easy to set it up. There's 11 seconds to go in the first half. It's a 6-6 tie. You're 50 yards away. This is the high school level, so getting in field goal position is, well, I don't think you'd be trying to do that. If it happened, you'd take it. But the bottom line is the Timberwolves need to play that so-called prevent defense here. They have to make sure to stay in their position, stay on their man, and just try and stop a big play, because that's what it's going to take. And 11 seconds sometimes is enough time for 2 plays, if they, of course, are passing plays. So this might not be the last play of the first half. It very well could be, but with 11 seconds to go, there's time for at least 2 plays, but I'm not sure beyond that if there would be time for any more. So can they go 50 yards in 2 plays? We're going to find out. Defensively, the safeties are back at the 30-yard line, 20 yards off the ball. Here's a pitch, and there's a run inside the 40 down to the 35 with 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Actually, right at 4 seconds, someone called a timeout, or the clock stopped because it's a first down, I think. And now they're going to try and spike the ball with 4 seconds to go if they can get lined up in time. The clock never even started. Now it starts. I mean, they threw that football down, and then the clock started, and officials throwing a flag possibly. Well, that was just kind of a crazy sequence there. Delay a game, or I'm not sure what the call is there, but anyway, there's 3 seconds to go. Now there was 4.4 seconds to go. They were trying to stop the clock. It went from 4.4 down to 3.1 after he had spiked the ball. So, and they are putting 4.4 seconds on the clock. That's the right call from the official there, and that could give the Crusaders, you never know, in 1 second that could be enough. So you can't say that's being picky here. And the official's explaining to Coach White down here, the clock started after the snap, and he's correct. The clock keeper, and granted we're all volunteers up here in this press box, most of us anyway, that, you know, that's going to happen. So bottom line is, here we go. This is no doubt the last play. There are 4 seconds to go. It's at the Timberwolves' 40-yard line, so they're certainly within scoring range on a long pass, given the fact that Christian Mello has shown a good arm, 5'10", 185-pound senior for the Crusaders. And now they spike the ball to get a timeout. And now the clock ran from 4.4 to 1.9 seconds to go. And anyway, all right. So there's timeout on the field. I guess 1.9 seconds to go. My apologies here as we try and get everything squared away. This is high school football. The officials are not getting travel per diem and six-figure salaries out there on the field. I imagine when you get to the big time, it's more like seven figures. I don't know. But nonetheless, let's try this again. This should be the last play. First half, 6-6 tie. Crusaders have it. Mello fakes a pitch, rolls to his right. Monson with good containment, collars him in. He gets a pass off. It's incomplete. Ooh, and a rough hit that time by Tyler Ashby. After the pass, you can hear the Crusaders fans are going, hey, you know, but that was just a good hit that time. That's the end of the first half. An exciting game. The first half kind of ended with a thud there, but the Timberwolves have tied this game up. The score at halftime, it is Fort Bragg 6, St. Bernard 6. We have a great ball game here. Stick around for the second half. We're rebroadcasting this game on the skunkfm.com, and we're streaming video on MendocinoTV.com. I'm Lindy Peters. It's been a great first half, a 6-6 tie. We'll be back with the second half right after these messages.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of Timberwolves football. I'm Lindy Peters for your sports leader in Mendocino County, the Skunk. Stick around for more action coming up. At some point in your life, you're going to need a good attorney. Ryan Perkins, attorney at law, is the only practicing attorney in Fort Bragg that was once a Fort Bragg Timberwolf. He knows the community, he knows the history, and best of all, he knows the law. Whether you're struggling to put together a will, feel you've been wronged by another business or individual, been charged with a crime, or simply have questions on whether or not you have a good legal case, call Ryan Perkins in Fort Bragg, 964-4900. Ryan Perkins, attorney at law, on your team.
Well, this is Coward Wholesale for Purity Supermarket in Fort Bragg. This week, back to Nature Granola, selected varieties just $4.29. Plums, 99 cents a pound. Coors, 12 packs, 12-ounce cans of bottles, $9.99 plus tax. Haas avocados, 69 cents each. See Purity this week, North Franklin, across from the post office.
At North Coast Tire, Rick and Wendy are committed to quality and excellence. From tires and tune-ups to brakes and alignments, go see Rick and Wendy at North Coast Tire at 440 South Main Street or call 964-3184. That's 964-3184. Hey, great news from Fort Bragg Transmission. Their service has expanded, and now they do most general vehicle repairs. They're ready for radiators to differentials and from wheel bearing maintenance to tune-ups. Call Fort Bragg Transmission on Franklin Street for dependable automotive repairs.
Fort Bragg Transmission, 964-7960.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of Timberwolves football. I'm Lindy Peters for your sports leader in Mendocino County, the Skunk. Stick around for more action coming up.
It's halftime here at St. Bernard's High School. We're in the shadow of historic St. Joseph's Church here in Eureka, California, home of the St. Bernard's Crusaders. This game is tied 6-6 here at halftime. The Crusaders scored first. However, an unsportsmanlike conduct call as their quarterback Christian Mello ran it in for a touchdown. Following that play, moved the ball to the 17-yard line for their extra point. They failed in it. The Timberwolves scored a touchdown on a nice pass, fourth down. Tyler Ashby, who on the drive had twisted his ankle. Incidentally, I talked to him at halftime, and he said that it's twisted. He kind of rolled on it himself there on the tackle, but he's limping still. It's taped heavily, but he's going to be okay. But anyway, his touchdown pass to Waugh gave the Timberwolves a 6-6 tie. Their extra point sailed wide right. Very difficult to tell from this angle, but I guess it did, and there's where we stand. It's 6-6. The Timberwolves will receive the kickoff to begin the second half. They'll be moving right to left across your radio dials, and you're listening to the rebroadcast here on the Skunk FM following the Giants game. Game taking place Saturday, September 1st here at St. Bernard's home field. Beautiful day. Great game so far. Not a lot of scoring, but typically the Timberwolves are known for their defense, and so far today they've done a good job. So here's the kickoff as Pimentel will kick it now to the Timberwolves to begin the second half. Taken by Waugh. He's at the 15 to the 20 to the 30, across the 30, and tackled at about the 37-yard line. So the Timberwolves will have decent field position as we begin the second half. 1st and 10, the ball at their own 37-yard line. 12-minute quarters in high school football. Lindy Peters with you here, streaming on Mendocino TV and rebroadcasting on the Skunk FM, your sports leader. I want to thank our studio engineer, John Rio. He does a great job putting these games together to get them on the air, and it makes me look good. And our thanks to Terry Vaughn from Mendocino TV. Could say the same things about him. Here we go. First play of the second half for the Timberwolves. Ashby on the pitch. It's fumbled, and it's still on the ground. It's loose. It's picked up by the Crusaders. Travis Rice gets the fumble recovery, and that was just a bad exchange that time as Ashby never quite got it to Jacob Richard, and that's not the place you want to turn the ball over, your own 31-yard line. Well, I guess it could be worse, but the Crusaders now with a golden opportunity, having just kicked the ball off. One play later, they've got the ball, 1st and 10, due to a Fort Bragg error at the Timberwolves' 31-yard line. Mello, 2 backs behind him, man split either side. Rolls out to his right. He's got some pressure this time. He throws, nice zing on the ball, but short of his intended receiver that time. Pimentel was the intended receiver. It's incomplete. Good pass rush that time. Reed Monson. Harrion also in there, putting some pressure on the quarterback Mello that time. Most of the throws so far from the Crusaders have been from the rollout. And Mello is a good runner too. He's scored their only touchdown, so he could throw and he can run. This time a man splits right, a man splits left, back split behind him in the backfield. Mello straight drop back this time, getting pressure from Richards. His throw is knocked as Waugh makes a good hit that time, and Pimentel misses the pass. Good coverage that time. Still a little high on the pass, but good pass rush from Jacob Richards that time. Forced Mello to get the ball off early, setting up 3rd and 10. So 2 plays, clock stops each time, and net result is no yardage. It's going to be 3rd and 10, 11:34 to go. We've only played 26 seconds here in this third quarter. Pimentel splits way out here to the right for the Crusaders. Man split out left, far side, tight end on the right side. Mello throws it over the middle, and the pass is tipped, and an amazing catch. A juggling catch by Rolo Oliveras that time. That ball was tipped, and it bounced off his stomach back into the air, and he grabbed it and snagged it for a completion, but it's short of the first down. It's going to be 4th down and 5 now. The ball at the 25-yard line. They have to get to about the 21. Mello looks at the play on his wristband, barks it off to his teammates. We've got a man split left, a man split right as the Crusaders set up here. Third quarter tied 6-6. There's the give, and the man is going to be short of the first down, I think. Nice play that time. Defensively is Jeffries, Richards were there to greet him, and he is, in fact, short of the first down. A big 4th down play for the Timberwolves defense. I thought maybe they'd put the ball in the air after they started that drive, but they chose to keep it on the ground that time. And Ginevro was stopped short of the first down. The Timberwolves take over on downs, 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line. 10:53 to go, third quarter, 6-6 tie. Lindy Peters here on the Skunk FM rebroadcast of this game and MendocinoTV.com. Streaming the video. Hope you're enjoying the game. It's a good one. Palmer splits out right, Waugh left, 1st down Timberwolves. Ashby at quarterback, backs are in the I formation. There's the give, 2nd man coming through. That's Smith, and he is stopped and a flag after he picked up maybe 2 yards to the 25-yard line. That flag came into either a face mask or a holding area there at the tail end. Let's see. And The official's going to talk to the Timberwolves, so it's going to be against St. Bernard's as they start walking backwards. I don't have a stat sheet and a stat person with me for these games, but penalty yardage certainly in both the JV game and varsity game, I think has favored the Timberwolves, to be sure. And there's been several of these face mask penalties in both games, junior varsity and varsity. We, of course, are only carrying the varsity game for you. The JVs, by the way, lost. St. Bernard's beat Fort Bragg 8-6 in a really good football game. Only the extra point at the end. The Timberwolves got a touchdown, the JVs, at the end of the game, but they couldn't get in the extra point and lost it 8-6. All right, here we go. First down for the Timberwolves. There's a give. That's Smith, right side, spinning around and stopped for no gain. That face mask, even though it was a 5-yard penalty, was an automatic first down, so that was actually a first down and 3 for the Timberwolves at their 30-yard line, but I don't think they got anything that time, so it's going to be second down and about 3.
The second down and 2.
Smith.
Fort Bragg 31-yard line.
More of an outside threat, although he's got the speed to pop through that hole quickly. But the inside running so far has been more successful with Richards in this game against the stout defense by the Crusaders, led by Manu Tanovasa, the big down lineman. So it'll be second down and short, the ball at their own 30 for the Timberwolves. Ashby back and sack. That looked like they were setting up a draw or a screenplay, and somebody's down holding their knee for the Timberwolves. And slowly getting up. I think that's Alex Espinoza, and he's limped a couple of times as he limps back to the huddle. So it's now going to be third down and about 5 as they lost 3 yards. Almost looked as though that was setting up a screen or a draw, as though they were letting the linemen come in that time to set something up, but before they had a chance offensively to get that play off in a positive direction, the defense in there quickly dropped Ashby for a loss. Ashby did twist his ankle. He's not on all horsepower out there right now. His right ankle is heavily taped. Richard, the lone setback. Smith now splits out left. There's nobody on him as they try and get this snap off, and Ashby fumbles the snap. Well, and there's a penalty flag. And it's a fumble, and the Crusaders apparently have the football. That fumble, though, may have been negated by a penalty flag. So let's see what's going on here. The official threw the flag, the linesman on the far side and the near side. So 2 referees saw the same thing, apparently. And it's a legal procedure call against the Timberwolves, and it is refused. And that, in fact, was a fumble, and it's first down. And the Timberwolves have fumbled the ball twice on each possession here, and each time the Crusaders have had it in great field position. They stopped them the first time with 8:53 to go in the third quarter, a 6-6 tie. Crusaders have it first and 10 after the fumble recovery at the Timberwolves' 23-yard line. Mello at quarterback, 2 backs behind him. The give is to Ginebra. He's tackled by Richards that time, but not before he picked up a good 5 yards. Across the 20 down to the 18. Second down and 5. 6-6, 8:43 to go third quarter. Crusaders and Timberwolves here, as it's a no-huddle offense, and they're trying to line up quickly now. The Crusaders on offense. Mello looking to the sidelines, gets the play. Well, he didn't get it off that quickly. He gives to the first man through, and he is stacked up and dropped immediately. Arian was in there.
Brought down by number 22, Jacob Richards.
So it's going to be second down at about 5. The ball's about the 17-yard line. They make that third down and 5. I'm sorry, the ball at about the 18-yard line. So another big play for the Timberwolves. And you might say a big play for the Crusaders if you're rooting for St. Bernard's. 2 men split out left this time. Pimentel in the slot, a man outside of him. Backs are split behind Mello. Give to Ginevra. And he's got good yardage, a first down across the 8-yard line into about the 7-yard line, where it'll be first and goal for St. Bernard's here. 7:42 to go. Clock stops. Chains get moved. So I'm sorry, the ball's at the 12-yard line, not inside the 10. They mark it at the 12-yard line where he's down, so it's going to be first and 10, the ball at the 12-yard line. Bello, Pimentel splits out to the right. 2 backs behind him, double tight end formation. And there's the give to Ginebra, and Ginebra is tackled by Jeffries that time at about the 10-yard line. He didn't get more than a couple. Started at the 12, may have gone inside the 10 to about the 9. So it's going to be second down and about 7. Again, the Crusaders can get a first down inside the 5-yard line down at about the 3. 6-6 tie, 7:28 to go here, third quarter. I'm Lindy Peters on the Skunk FM. Rebroadcasting Timberwolves football has returned thanks to the Skunk here and MendocinoTV.com. Second down at the 9. Mello. Man split left. Pimentel split out here to the right. Ginebra, the lone back. And the fake, rolling left, throwing. Man is open in the corner, overthrown. Good coverage, though, that time by Brandon Palmer, although Bean did have him beat by a couple of steps, but the ball was overthrown, and there's a penalty flag. Last week, there were a lot of penalties when the Timberwolves beat McKinleyville at Timberwolves Stadium there under the lights. And this is the first time, as I mentioned last week, that the Fort Bragg Timberwolves have ever had 2 football games before Labor Day. And I know a lot of you might be enjoying this game because today is part of the Paul Bunyan Day celebration. As you're listening to the rebroadcast still going on, this game here is from Saturday, September 1st. All right, it's a penalty against the Crusaders. It's only a 5-yard penalty, but every yard counts when you're down in the red zone on defense. The ball comes out now to the 15, where it's going to be second down and 13.
On the Fort Bragg 14-yard line.
This time, Shed Bean splits way out here to the right. Pimentel split left. Tight end on the left side, strong side left. There's a flanker out there too. Mello fakes a pitch left, rolls to his right, looking for Bean. He's getting pressure. He throws, and Pimentel makes the catch as he comes across the field from the left side formation and makes the catch. Or it's Oliveras, inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line. It's going to be third down. They didn't gain a lot of yardage on that time, but again, a nice throw on the run by Christian Mello.
Gain of 6 yards.
So it's going to be third down and about 7. 6:31 to go here in this third quarter. A 6-6 tie as the Crusaders are trying to get into the end zone. The Timberwolves are trying to stop them. Third down play now. Inside the 10-yard line. Mello with his back split behind him. Gives to the first man. No, he keeps it. A little belly option fake. He's got it rolling around left. He's got close to the first down. He's going to be short. It's going to be fourth down at about the 4-yard line. They need 2 for a first down. They'll need about 4 for a touchdown, and it's going to be fourth down. And in a 6-6 tie, this is a crucial spot in the game. The quarterback, Christian Mello, limping a little bit, as is Logan Bongio, also limping a little bit. He's the up man in the backfield. So it's going to be fourth down. Call it a long 2 or a short 3. And it's all the way down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. Mello gives. Ginebra got the first down.
On the left side, close to a first down.
I believe. He didn't get in the end zone for sure, but he might have a first down, and that set up first and goal at probably the 1-yard line. But let's see.
The first and goal.
It is first and goal. Christian Mello favoring his left leg quite a bit. You can see it on the MendocinoTV.com probably, but on the radio, I'll describe it for you in our rebroadcast that he's not going at full strength, but he's got his team down first and goal at the 2. Ginebra and Bongio in the backfield. It's a keeper. And Mello has...
Mello right at the middle.
Well, his teammates think he has it, but the officials have not given the signal for a touchdown. 5:07 to go, third quarter. There's the call. A little bit of a delay on that touchdown call, but the official just raised up his arms and gave us the signal. It's St. Bernard's 12, Fort Bragg 6. 5:05 to go in this third quarter. What could be of more interest is each quarterback seems to be limping a little bit right now. Mello is walking around in front of us, definitely favoring his leg. It's his left leg, whereas he's grabbing his calf. Whereas Tyler Ashby for the Timberwolves also twists his ankle. Here's the extra point. The spot's down. The kick is blocked.
It's no good.
It's no good. And the score with 5:05 to go, third quarter, is neither team able to get an extra point thus far. It's Crusaders 6, the Crusaders 12, the Timberwolves 6.
Fort Bragg Timberwolves 6.
We'll take a little break here and come back and pick up the action here with 5:05 to go, third quarter. Timberwolves trailing by a touchdown. I'm Lindy Peters for the Skunk and MendocinoTV.com. Former Timberwolf, now head coach of the St. Bernard Crusaders, Jason White, has his team ahead 12-6. Probably give him special satisfaction if he can beat the Timberwolves, although I'm sure he still has a special place in his heart for him as well. But always fun when you got two alumni coaching against each other. Roy Perkins from the Timberwolves, still with Fort Bragg across the way. Here's the kickoff from Pimentel. Back to receive it is Smith. He picks it up, goes right up the middle, and is dropped across the 35 to 38-yard line. Good stick that time by Pimentel. Kicked the ball off, or I'm sorry, Rolo Oliveras. I get those two mixed up. Pimentel wears 88, Oliveras 81. Similar builds for the Crusaders, and this being my first time seeing them, I've mixed those two up a couple of times. So it'll be first and 10 Timberwolves, the ball at their own 37-yard line. 4:58 to go, third quarter. Timberwolves trailing now 12-6. One thing they haven't taken advantage of, Reed Monson has a pretty good size advantage over the linebacker trying to cover him. They don't feature the tight end a lot in their passing game, but they did at one point in this game. They tried to get it to him and pass interference. There's a penalty as the Crusaders jump off sides that time. I don't know if the Timberwolves drew them off sides or not, but all three of the referees out of four threw their flags. The umpire's going to straighten it out for us here. It's offsides, in fact, against the Crusaders. So maybe Coach Perkins, a former quarterback, picked something up there, the way that their cadence, they seemed to be really firing off the ball, and maybe the Timberwolves were giving something away on the snap there. So that time they drew the Crusaders offside, and it's going to be first and 5. The ball now at the 42. Timberwolves trailing 12-6. Brandon Palmer splits out left. Todd Wall splits out right. Richard, the up back. Zach Smith behind him. As Ashby gives it to Smith. Smith is hit and dropped by the big guy. Once again, Mano Tanavasa makes the tackle. He's been all over the field. And he's got the size. He's a senior, 6'1", 280. He might play beyond the high school level. Certainly community college level. Got the size and what I can see, the talent to play at that level for sure. All right, the Timberwolves now second down and 7. The ball at the 45. Ashby, been a quarterback almost the whole game. One play, they took him out on an injury. Gives it to Smith. Smith gets through the hole. Richard, actually a nice kick-out block, but it was sealed up nicely by the defense. Bryce made the tackle for the Crusaders. It's only about a 2-yard gain. It's going to be third down and about 5. Ball at the 42-yard line. The Timberwolves have to get it out to about the 47. 3:57 to go and counting down third quarter. Fort Bragg trailing 12-6. We'll keep our eye on the clock now as that becomes important here in this second half. Been a close game, well played. Been a few penalties, but overall, second game of the season, and these two teams are pretty evenly matched. All right, Wall splits out to the left. He caught a touchdown in this game, the only time the Timberwolves marked the scoreboard thus far. Monson moves over to the right side at tight end. Back to passes. Ashby, he's getting a lot of pressure. Rolling right, he's in trouble. He stops, he looks, he eludes a man. Now he's got an open room, and he throws a step to Smith, and Smith drops the football. He might have been best to run it. Boy, Ashby looked like Fran Tarkenton of old back there as he scrambled around, and then I think Smith wasn't really expecting that pass. He thought maybe he'd go look for somebody to block, but instead Ashby threw him the football and was incomplete. So it'll be fourth down, the ball at their own 42. The Timberwolves will punt now as Harrion comes in back in punt formation. Bean goes deep along with Patrick Allen. Patrick Allen was another number that I had finally picked up at halftime for the Crusaders. He is not listed in the program under that number, so my apologies to, again, the Crusaders for not getting his name out there. He's played well in this game. He's back for the punt. Harrion gets a snap for the Timberwolves. The kick is away. It's a good end-over-end kick, and it takes a Crusaders bounce at about the 25-yard line, bounces back to the 30 where it's down by the Timberwolves, and the Crusaders will have it first and 10, the ball at their own 30. They lead it 12-6. 3:10 to go here in this third quarter. Good to see how Ashby's ankle in that series seemed to be okay for the Timberwolves. He seems to have, and he's back there at safety now, watching him limping still a little bit. Meanwhile, In that last series, quarterback Christian Mello seemed to be limping for the Crusaders, and I watched him walk out there, and a little ginger, but both players who are key to their team seem to be okay. All right, Mello gives. Nice move by Ginobra, and he is tackled after slipping one tackle.
4 yards. Brought down by number 54, Jeff Francis.
Francis made the tackle after about a 4-yard gain, and it'll be 2nd down and 6. Ball at the 34-yard line, actually about the 35. Francis, who didn't play in the opener against McKinleyville, has done a good job. He's seeing his first action here in this game today. 2:37 to go, third quarter, 12-6 St. Bernards. They have it 2nd down at their own 35. There's a pass. Mello gets it out to his man who's open. That's Bean. Bean stiff arms a man on the left sideline, and a penalty flag comes in. Probably going to be a face mask against the Timberwolves as he gets it out to midfield.
Flag on the play.
So the officials talk it over. Now, if Bean stiff-armed the Timberwolves defender in the face mask, you can stiff-arm, but you can't grab the face mask on offense either. But it looks to me as though that's going to go against Fort Bragg, the way they're talking there and holding the football. Ball right at midfield. Personal foul, face mask, and it is against Fort Bragg. And that was probably the correct call. Usually it's the defender who's guilty of that infraction. Is it a 5-yard or more? It's the 15-yard variety, and that's not good. That'll take the ball from midfield all the way down to the 35-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for St. Bernards, leading 12-6. 2:25 to go, third quarter. We're rebroadcasting this game on the skunkfm.com, and you're watching it streaming video on MendocinoTV.com. I'm Lindy Peters, along with Terry Vaughn, up here in the luxurious broadcast suite at St. Bernards. Mello gives to Ginobra, and he is popped by Francis right at the line of scrimmage as Francis came up to say hello that time from his middle backer spot. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. The clock now continues to move with the ball kept on the ground by St. Bernards. Again, they're getting the call in from the sideline, and they don't huddle in the traditional way. They wait to get the play. They look at their wristbands, see what it is, and get set to go. And this takes a lot of discipline at this level. So many things can go wrong in high school football. Very sophisticated offense for this level. Credit to Coach Jason White at the Crusaders. 3 men split out left. This is the formation where they've been rolling right, and he does again. And he's in trouble. And Richards can't quite get Mello as he throws it just before he's sacked, and it's picked off. Tyler Ashby intercepted. Mello was wise not to throw that football. Everybody, including Tyler Ashby, knew where it was going. There was one player, he was running out of room, tucked up against the sideline, he let it fly, and Ashby, from his safety position, stepped up and picked it off to stop the Crusaders. Timberwolves have it 1st and 10 at the 23. The Timberwolves have turned the ball over twice in this third quarter to the Crusaders. Now they get a turnover. Nice play by Ashby that time. What the Crusaders have been doing is lining up strong to the left and then rolling to the right. And they've showed a tendency, and the defense that time had seen that play enough that they sniffed it out and set up the interception. All right, here we go. The Timberwolves on offense. Backs at I formation behind Ashby. Crusaders jump. That was Rice that time. Logan Bongio that time who jumped. And so it'll be 1st and 5 again. And clearly the Timberwolves have picked something up on what the Crusaders' tendency is on the snap. And that's the 2nd consecutive series to start with a 5-yard offside penalty. All right, the Timberwolves bring it up 1st and 5, the ball shy of their own 30 at about the 28-yard line. 1:19 to go, third quarter. There's the give to Smith. Smith dances his way across the line of scrimmage and is gang tackled at about the 30-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and maybe 2-yard gain, 2nd down and 3.
Number 9, Logan Bongio.
1:02 to go, third quarter. 12-6, St. Bernards leads. Under a minute to go now as the clock continues to tick down after that running play. Timberwolves trailing here going to have to come back in this one. They had to come back last week and beat McKinleyville, and they did. 14-7 the score in that one. But they're behind now, 12-6. Ashby with Palmer split left, 2 men split right, backs are in the I formation. Richards the up back to keeper by Ashby as he sneaks his way across for a first down to the 37-yard line. That's about the only way you get by Tono Vasa, the big guy, because he's kind of in a gap position on defense, and all you got to do is follow your center, get by him, and there's usually 4 or 5 yards there. And with Ashby's open field running ability, although he's kind of a bum wheel, he might be able to break that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he did at some point. Maybe not today, but at some point in the season if they continue to try and run that play. So it's 1st and 10 Timberwolves, trailing 12-6. They probably won't get this play off here as the clock's about to go in the third quarter. 5, 4, 3, they get it off. It's another keeper by Ashby. He gets around the right side. He's got some room, and there's the quarter, and he's flipped over that time by Bean on the tackle right at the 45-yard line, and that's the end of the third quarter. The score, the St. Bernard Crusaders 12, the Fort Bragg Timberwolves 6, 12 minutes of football left. The Timberwolves are going to have to come back. Can they? Stay tuned and find out. We'll be back after these messages for the fourth quarter. All right, we're all set to go here. Fourth quarter action. I'm Lindy Peters for the Skunk FM. We're broadcasting this game from Eureka, California. It's being rebroadcast following the Giants game today. 12-6. St. Bernard's leads this game. 12 minutes to go. Second down and 3 for the Timberwolves as they switch positions on the field, move left to right now across your radio dial. The give is to Richard. Richards is going to be short of the first down. He might have it. He got across 45 to the 46-yard line. They're going to mark it here, and I think he might be short, but I'm a long ways away.
Brought down by Travis Rice.
And they're trying to see if they need a measurement now. They might bring out the chain gang, and
He needs to hit it hard.
here it comes. So there's a timeout for measurement. While we have a timeout for measurement, once again, we want to thank everybody that makes this possible. Mendocino TV, Terry Vaughn. You can go online, watch last week's game. You're enjoying this game. You can enjoy next week's game. 6 games into the season, you could say, wonder what happened when they played St. Bernard's. Did that play score a touchdown when they ran it? You can go back and find it anytime online. Any device that picks up streaming, you've got us. As I said, anytime, anywhere in a cage. First down, Timberwolves after the measurement as we have 11:52 to go in this football game. St. Bernard's leading 12-6. Normally, we'll rebroadcast these games on Saturday mornings following the games. This is an exception because this is a Saturday game, the lone Saturday game on the schedule up here, and it's a beautiful day in Eureka for football, and we have a great game. All right, the Timberwolves 1st and 10, the ball at their own 47, trailing 12-6, 11:45 to go in the game. Ashby, Palmer out right, Wall tucked inside of him in the slot. Richards and Smith split in the backfield. Another fumbled snap. Ashby keeps it, tries to get outside, and again he's tackled that time by Bean, who's been doing a nice job coming up aggressively from his defensive back position and tackling Tyler Ashby low. So no gain, or actually a loss on the play, 2nd and 11, but really that was a fumbled snap. The Timberwolves already have 2 fumbles that they've lost in the second half. That's the difference in the game right now. That turnover created good field position. Give St. Bernard's credit for getting it into the end zone, but if it wasn't for that fumble recovery, they wouldn't have started so close to the Timberwolves end zone. 2nd and 11, 47-yard line. The Timberwolves, again, trailing 12-6, 10:50 to go in the game now. This time Waugh, who caught the touchdown, splits out left. Out here to the right is Ty Vaughn. Ashby's back to pass. He's got a man open. He makes the catch. That's Waugh. As he ran an in pattern, started up the seam and then cut it to the middle and caught it at the 40-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Timberwolves at the St. Bernard's 40-yard line. Nice pass by Ashby that time. He didn't have a lot, just a short drop against this defense. You either have to roll out, do some misdirection, some play action fake, or or maybe a 5-step drop because they're really strong off the ball, particularly big number 52, Manu Tonavasa. So it's 1st and 10 Timberwolves, 10:20 to go now. They have it across midfield at the 40-yard line of St. Bernard's. Ashby gives it to Smith. Smith follows his blocks, and he is tackled that time by Travis Rice after picking up maybe 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8. 9:59 to go. Now the Timberwolves trail 12-6. This is the 4th quarter, under 10 minutes to go. If they can sustain a drive, get down and score a touchdown, all they need is an extra point and a good defense, and they can take control of the game. That's a lot easier said than done, especially from this point on the field, and St. Bernard's has a stout defense. There's a shotgun snap, give to Smith. He gets face masked with no penalty, but we got 2 penalty flags on the field, and that time it didn't seem as though there was one of the Crusaders seems to have a leg cramp. The penalty flag, I think, is against Fort Bragg on that play, but that play blew up. If you're going to set up an end around or a reverse or anything like that, you've got to block at the line of scrimmage. If those guys are in the backfield, you're not going to be able to get that play off, and that's what happened. A penalty against the Timberwolves was declined, so they'll take the down at this point. And they lost about 5 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 14, the ball down to the 44-yard line now. So after that nice first down pass, the Timberwolves' next couple of plays have netted negative yardage. 3rd and 14. Wall splits out to the right. Charging is Tyvon to split out left, so they get the play off. 2 men behind Wall. Wall play action fake, throws just as he's hit, and the ball is nearly intercepted by Bean. Ashby was under a lot of pressure that time. Wall was open for a moment. Bean with some good defense, setting up 4th down. It's the 4th quarter, 9:11 to go. Do you try and get a first down here, or do you kick it away? I would think you'd kick it away. Their defense really hasn't given up much in the way of big plays. The passing game from St. Bernard's has burned them a few times, but they are going to, in fact, punt it away. Bean goes back. Along with him is Patrick Allen. For St. Bernard's, as Harrion will kick from about his own 45-yard line. There's the snap. The punt is blocked. And it's picked up by the big guy. And he is just dropped by Harrion. So Tonavasa got that ball, picked it out of the air, and he's been dishing out so many licks that Harrion said, you know what, buddy? I'm going to dish a lick out right now to you. And indeed he did, but not before that punt was blocked and recovered by the Crusaders at their own 45-yard line, where they'll have it 1st and 10. 9:04 to go in the game, so the Timberwolves defense needs to be stout here. They need to hold them, and the nice thing, if you're in the St. Bernard's camp, is that field position now seems to have shifted to St. Bernard's. They're going to start at their own 45. A couple of first downs, and the Timberwolves are going to be pinned deep in this 4th quarter, trailing 12-6. The Crusaders have the lead. Mello gives, and Ginobra is dropped immediately. The Timberwolves, Jeffries in there on the stop. Jacob Richards also was in there on the stop, a loss of about 3. It's going to be 2nd down and 13. 8:42 to go now. St. Bernard's, coached by Jason White, probably will try and keep that clock going now. They've stopped it many times with their passing game, but leading 12-6, they probably will only pass when they have to, but they might here. It's 2nd and long, 2nd and 13. 2 backs, man split left, man split right. Christian Mello pitches. This is Ginobra looking for a block, trying to get around the left side. The Timberwolves string him out, and Francis catches him from behind. Harrion also went on the stop. No gain or a loss. It's going to be 3rd down now. And probably 13 yards now. 8:04 to go and counting down in this game. One of the Crusaders is coming out very slowly this time, and that's their running back. As he limps off is Nicholas Genevro. And Genevro gingerly walks off the field. All right, 3rd and 13, 42-yard line. Another big play for the Timberwolves defense as they got too many men on the field. Coles is rushing to get off before the snap. He does. Mello rolling to his right. Got some time. Throws. Passes caught. Bean, but he's going to be short of the first down, but it's across midfield. So do you go for the first down and give it back to the Timberwolves with 7:21 to go on fourth down, or do you punt it away and pin them way deep in the territory? These are the decisions Jason White has to make, and I think I heard him from our press box say punt. Crusaders lead 12-6. They're trying to protect that lead. And so they don't want to take a chance and be stopped on fourth down. They're going to punt. Into punt is Rolo Oliveras. Oliveras will be punting from about his 45-yard line by the time he takes the snap and steps up back to receive. Waugh and Zach White for the Timberwolves. Fourth down. There's the snap. Gets the kick away. Kind of a knuckleball kick. Gets a good bounce for the Crusaders. All the way down inside the 10 and down to the 9-yard line. So that's exactly why you punt in that situation. Now the Timberwolves are going to have to go a whole lot of real estate to tie this game up. They start inside their 10, fourth quarter, trailing 12-6. I'm Lindy Peters. You're listening to a rebroadcast of this game on the Skunk FM and watching video streaming on MendocinoTV.com. We want to thank all the sponsors that make this possible. I want to thank, again, Terry Vaughn from Mendocino TV and John Rio back there at the Skunk FM. All part of this. I'm the one that gets the glory behind the mic, but there's a lot of people involved in making this happen for you. There's a snap, and again, a bad snap on the exchange, and Tyler Ashby simply has to fall on the football. That's about the fourth time that's happened in this game, and you can't win football games against a good team if that becomes a consistent problem within a game. 12-6, clock ticking down, 6:11, 6:10, 6:9 left in the game. Fort Bragg now has to go 94 yards for a touchdown here. Second down and 11, the ball at their 6. Give is to Richard, and he is stopped immediately. Rice was the first guy there.
Our line is stopping and watching.
12-6. Timberwolves need a touchdown. 5:37 to go in the game. Crusaders with the lead. And now it's third down. And the ball up to the 9-yard line, back to close to the original line of scrimmage now, so it's third down at about 10. And splitting out here to the right is Waugh. Got Bean on him. Palmer splits out left. As Ashby, with two backs behind him, drops back to pass. Looking for Waugh. Throws it up the right sideline. Waugh comes back for the football. It's tipped and incomplete. Bean with good coverage that time for the Crusaders. Also coming over to help out for the Crusaders was Jared Guy. So it's fourth down, the ball at your own 9-yard line. You're trailing 12-6. There's 5 minutes to go in the game, so you're definitely going to have to punt this ball away and turn it over to your defense. But the field position now clearly favoring St. Bernard's here. Harrion will kick out of his own end zone. Gets the snap, gets the kick away. Bean lets it bounce. Rolls, takes a Timberwolves bounce across midfield and all the way down to the 44. A penalty flag, however, is down on the field back near the line of scrimmage. And if it's any kind of a personal foul or anything like that, it would give the Timberwolves a first down if it's against St. Bernard's, but they're talking to the Crusaders captain now, and they'll probably make them punt it again. Although, I don't know. I'm not sure they would. So many things can go wrong in high school football. But like I said, it's much easier to coach from up here. But here's where we stand in the game. There's 4:53 to go. It's 12-6. The Timberwolves have just punted. The ball is at the 45-yard line of the Crusaders. And now they're talking to the Timberwolves. I'm not sure who this penalty is on, but let's see. Holding, and it is against St. Bernard's. Was it after the punt or before the punt? Apparently after the punt, because the ball's not coming back. The Timberwolves are not going to get a first down out of this, but it will move the Crusaders back another few yards here to begin this drive. 4:53 to go in the game. As the Crusaders start to feel good here, get the music pumped up a little bit. I only wish that when music is played at high school football games, they could get a decent set of speakers. My goodness. Sounds like we're underwater. Anyway, 1st and 10 for St. Bernard's. Hey, everybody does the best they can at this level. 1st and 10, 35-yard line now to begin this drive. And there's a snap, and that's Mello that keeps the football around the left side. That could be an unsportsmanlike conduct call against St. Bernard's for playing music during the game, but I think the poor guy wasn't sure where the off button was on that little boom box. Anyway, 2nd down and 9. You're not allowed to make noise from the sidelines or the broadcast booth during football games. Just ask my good buddy Alan Urbani. And I say that in a fun way, as I'm sure he knows. 12-6. Crusaders lead. They're trying to run out the clock, but there's time if the Timberwolves can stop them. It's going to be 2nd down and about 9 at the 36-yard line of St. Bernard's. They keep the ball on the ground, and carrying the ball that time with a tough run is Logan Bongio, and he just kept going and got up close to the first down. He's holding his left arm as he gets up, but it's going to be 3rd and short. 3:59 to go. They stop the clock now because of his injury, and you know that arm is a little limp there as he comes off, and hopefully he's going to be okay for the Crusaders. Mainly a blocking back, but occasionally carrying the ball. Logan Bongio, 220-pound, 5'9" senior for the Crusaders. So here it is. It's 3rd and short. The ball at the 39-yard line, or 30, make that 44-yard line of the Crusaders. They need to get up to the 45. It's about a yard, and they just keep it right up the middle, and the defense wasn't even ready, and still on his feet and running, and still going is Mello as he's finally dragged down at the 40-yard line by Ty Vaughn. I don't think that was intentionally meant to go that far. I think they were just trying to get the first down. But they were happy to take that yardage, and with the new set of downs and 3:37 to go in the game, the Crusaders in the driver's seat. 12-6 the score. And we have a timeout on the field, timeout called by Fort Bragg as Coach Perkins comes out to talk to his players. Gives me a chance to thank some of our Timberwolves boosters and friends and neighbors back in our community who helped make this possible, including Mendel Lake Credit Union, Harvest Market, Dr. Robert Bruce Dentistry, Subway Sandwiches, Cowlicks, Randall Heating and Sheet Metal, Silvers at the Wharf, Mel and Susan McKinney, Sean and Hackley Physical Therapy. Thanks to the boosters and friends. If you want to become part of this and help us out, you can contact us at the radio station, The Skunk, or you can go online to skunkfm.com, check out our website, or you can also contact the station at 964-5307 during business hours. It's great to be back on the airwaves with Timberwolves football, a lot of fun and excitement and pageantry at the high school level, and it's certainly my pleasure to be here and bring these broadcasts to you. A rebroadcast Sunday. So here we go. 1st and 10 now for St. Bernard's. 3:33 to go in the game. There's a pitch back to Bean. Bean trying to get outside and does. Gets to the 30, to the 25, down to the 23-yard line. Showing good speed. And Ned Bean, though we haven't called his name a whole lot in this game, has certainly been all over the field, both on defense and offense, and that was a big play because that brings it down to the 23-yard line now. 3:24 to go. They're going to start the clock as soon as the chain gang gets up there. But by keeping the ball on the ground with those type of plays, that sets up a possible fumble situation if the Timberwolves defense can wrest that ball away. 1st and 10 for St. Bernard's now as a man splits left, man splits right. Mello pitches. That's Bean. starts to go outside, cuts back inside, and gets tackled. Francis was there. Also Ty Vaughn on the stop for the Timberwolves. Short gain.
Brought down by number 81, Fort Bragg.
Ball at the 23-yard line, or 24-yard line, call it a gain of a yard. Second down and 9, 2:49, 2:48, 2:47 to go in this game. The Crusaders trying to run out the clock. The Timberwolves hoping for a miracle now. 12-6. St. Bernard's with the lead. Fort Bragg, like I said, has to come up big on defense here somehow, some way. Man splits right and the man splits left for St. Bernard's as they bring tight end over to the left side this time. Two men back behind Bean, the deep back behind Mello at quarterback for the Crusaders. There's the pitch again to Bean. He's going to throw. He throws to the end zone, and again, the Timberwolves, that ball, well, it was incomplete. But it didn't look like the Timberwolves defense reacted to that ball when it was in the air. It's almost as though the ball was in the air and everybody was watching it instead of going to get it. That could have, in my opinion, been picked off there. But nonetheless, the Crusaders still have it. Third down, stops the clock with 2:06 to go. Tried to get a little fancy, maybe a little greedy there. They lead 12-6, but no lead is safe at any level of football with 2 minutes to go in the game. Well, I shouldn't say no lead. I mean, a one touchdown lead isn't safe. All right, Mello gives to the first man, and Francis tackles him from behind. And now, after a gang of friends comes over to help out, he is finally brought down. Tough run that time. That was Logan Bongio, who's apparently his arm wasn't hurt that bad when he left the field. So it's third down. The ball at about the 18-yard line. I'm sorry, fourth down now after that play. The Timberwolves stop the clock, 1:57 to go. I think that's their third timeout in the second half. Again, I don't have a stat sheet or those type of statistics at hand, but I think this might be their last timeout. But the bottom line is there's 1:57 to go. They trail 12-6. It's fourth down at the 18-yard line. And the Crusaders can get a first down. They're going to have to get it to about the 14 or 15. Obviously, if they get a first down, that's going to do it. This game is over. If the Timberwolves are able to hold them, they still are going to have to go a long ways with hardly any time left on the clock. So both games so far this year have been exciting. They're coming right down to the end here. So that's it. Coach White runs off the field for the Crusaders as they come up to the line of scrimmage. 4th and 5 at the Timberwolves, about the 13, 12-yard line. Mello over center, tries to draw him offsides a couple of times, still trying to draw him offsides. That doesn't work, and the Crusaders call a timeout. So clearly their plan was to draw him offsides if they could, get the 5-yard penalty and get an automatic first. Coach Perkins may have told him just that when he went out there at the timeout, don't jump. So we'll finish this thing up. Possibly some excitement at the end with 1:57 to go. St. Bernard's leading 12-6. So here we go, fourth down and about 5 to go for the Crusaders at the Timberwolves. About their, I think I said their 13-yard line. It's more like their 17-yard line, and they try a quarterback sneak, and Mello is, well, he got up close to the first down. The Timberwolves were unable, I think, to stop him. The Crusaders think they have it, and like I said, a first down here, and it's all over but the screaming and the shouting. Unless a mistake is made, and that is a first down. So St. Bernard's with 1:50 to go in the game, leading 12-6, have a first down at the Timberwolves. Now they have it at about the 13-yard line. Kind of hard to tell all the way across the field from our vantage point here in the press box suite. I say that with just a note of sarcasm. 1st and 10. St. Bernard now just has to burn the clock. 1:33 and counting down. The Timberwolves out of timeouts. Will they just take a knee or will they try and punch it in? Coaches have long memories. They give it to Bongio. He's trying to run it in, and he is gang tackled right up the middle at the 10-yard line. 1:15, 1:14, 1:13 to go. So one, possibly two plays left. 12-6, St. Bernard's leading, trying to just get the clock to hit 0, hear the horn, and go back home, winning 12-6 for the Timberwolves. Like I said, it's been a good game. They've battled really hard. They've hung in there. This is a well-coached team they're playing. They're on the road. It's a day game, long road up here. And, I think Fort Bragg's played very well here. I think their season is starting off well, even if they lose this game. Second down now at the 12. And they're going to give to Bongio, and he's going to run it up the middle, and he's going to get a touchdown. So with 26 seconds to go, the Crusaders decide to rub a little salt in the wound. Frankly, I'm a little surprised that alumni head coach Jason White would do that, but he did. All he had to do was have his quarterback take a knee, and this game was over. But then again, if it's a one-score game, freaky things can happen. So in his defense, I think he wanted to make sure that the game was going to be out of hand if the Timberwolves were able to get the ball back somehow. And indeed it is at this point. In fact, Coach White has just taken off his headset and set it on the cooler. And he's getting handshakes now from coaches all around. Here's the extra point for the Crusaders. It's going to be short. And so, although there were 4 touchdowns scored today, nobody got an extra point, and somebody is down on the field, and that looks like it's one of the Crusaders there, Patrick Allen. The trainers are down, and boy, let's hope he's okay. To have something like this happen at this point in the game, on an extra point on a meaningless touchdown with seconds to go, you just hate to see that. But Allen being attended to, and sometimes, we only have 26 seconds left in this game. These injuries will take a few minutes, so we'll come back and finish out this game, but right now as they attend to the ball player on the field, we will tell you this. The score, with 26 seconds to go in this game, at St. Bernard's 18, Fort Bragg 6. Well, let's keep it here. He's being brought off the field now not under his own power. He's definitely got some assistance, but hats off to both teams and both coaches. Fine game here, and the people have been very pleasant up here at St. Bernard's. A nice group of folks to welcome us visitors from Fort Bragg for this game. We want to thank you for enjoying MendocinoTV.com and for listening to the rebroadcast of this game on the Skunk FM. The Skunk is committed to bringing you the finest in live play-by-play action from Major League Baseball and the Giants to the National Football League and the 49ers, and now your radio home of the Fort Bragg Timberwolves. So we're about ready to finish this game with 26 seconds to go. 18-6 the score. One thing that you're definitely not going to see is a typical kickoff, I would guess. This will be the squib variety. If somebody's going to run this back, he's going to be wearing a high number. But then again, they might go ahead and kick it away. I don't know. We'll see. Kickoff duties for St. Bernard's, Rolo Oliveras. Back is Zach Smith along with Todd Watt to receive for the Timberwolves. Trailing 18-6, 26 seconds. There's the squib. And somebody better pick it up. Francis finally falls on it for the Timberwolves, but no time should go off the clock, although 3.3 seconds somehow did. We got 25.7 seconds to go in this game. Fort Bragg trailing 18-6, so let's see. Long bomb touchdown, onside kick recover, major penalty, touchdown, Timberwolves win, miracle fashion. Okay, I just woke up from my brief daydream there, and there is one more timeout for the Timberwolves, and they took it right now. So, do you have a play that'll score 2 touchdowns in your book, Coach Perkins? Let's find out. All right. right, we're back to action as the Crusaders along the sideline get serenaded by a version of the Notre Dame fight song. And the Timberwolves need to get 2 touchdowns in 26 seconds. Costello at quarterback now, at shotgun, he's back. And he throws it over the middle deep for Smith. Smith just gives up on the football and it's intercepted. And tackled nicely that time. But Smith sort of gave up on that route and one of the Timberwolves is down. And again, here's the end of the game. 11 seconds to go, 18-6. And one of the Timberwolves is still, and that's Harrion, is slow getting up. He's going to be okay, I guess. Coaches are going to find out if he got his bell rung or got a stinger or what. There's been a lot of awareness now at every level of football in terms of head injuries and concussions and getting your bell rung, as it used to be called. And, you know, with a key player like him, at this point in the game, you know, why even be out here? And now I think the Crusaders will take a knee. They've got that set up. They've got one guy way back in case there is some sort of a fumble. And the Timberwolves, with 11 seconds to go, you know, this is it. This is the play to end the game right here. A lot of hard play has kind of come to a soft landing here as they'll just take a knee and end the game. There's the snap, there's the knee, and that'll do it. So that's the final. The St. Bernard's Crusaders have defeated the Fort Bragg Timberwolves 18-6. It was a double victory for St. Bernard's. They also won the JV game 8-6. But it was a tough fought battle for both teams. The Timberwolves' only touchdown came on a 10-yard pass from Tyler Ashby to Todd Waugh. The Crusaders scoring that final touchdown on a good run by Logan Bongio pretty much put it away. And that's your final. So, Coach Roy Perkins brings his Timberwolves across the field to shake hands with the Crusaders. A hard-fought battle. Coach Jason White, Fort Bragg High School Timberwolves alumni and a great football player back when he used to wear the purple and white, can go home and smile tonight as his Crusaders have defeated his alumni and beloved Fort Bragg Timberwolves 18-6. The Crusaders are victorious. For Mendocino TV, I'm Lindy Peters for the Skunk FM. Thanks for enjoying the rebroadcast. Thanks for enjoying the video streaming. Our next broadcast will be against LC Allen. They're playing at Timberwolves Stadium next Friday night. Hope to see you there. That should be a good ball game as well. The Timberwolves now fall to 1-1. Again, the final from St. Bernard's. The Crusaders 18, the Timberwolves 6. Thanks for enjoying the game, everybody. I'm Lindy Peters.